So I'm gonna do this. Even I'm gonna do it right here because it was seeping out anyway. Regardless of vampires within 100 feet, 1,000 feet, or whatever. So prepare for that. Okay. Um, the test. To sit there, live, think, and hold it in my head and take it with me back to the recorder, back to the paper, committed to paper. Because this is ability I don't see. I lost ability in the system. In other words, I used to come to people with my ideas, and they had to have it on paper because they couldn't take the idea and carry it to another man. They just didn't have that. They didn't have the mental faculties for that. So the thing was to practice it, to stay on it and to practice. Now, one of the things that was mentioned was a box called things that you probably never thought about. You know, and it's mainly for the particular people who should have thought about it. Like, say, people who smoke weed. Weed has side effects. Have you took the time to learn what those side effects are? Have you took the time to learn what the downside is, or are you so busy enjoying the upside? It causes mental problems. Did you know that? Did you know that marijuana causes mental problems? What? No, listen, man. Okay? It affects your behavior. That's a clue. So many ways. It cuts off your peripheral vision. That's what those tight eyes are. You losing your peripheral vision. You could talk about you look Asian if you want to. Alright? It affects your sense of humor. You can tell because the people who aren't high aren't laughing at the same thing that the people who are high are laughing at. That's proof right there in front of everybody. Doesn't have to be took to court. That we all know it affects your sense of humor. Because those people are giggling and laughing, and we don't see the humor in what they're laughing at. Unless we are high too. Okay? Many things. Say you're a politician, public speaker, or new to the game of this, and you think you can just jump up there behind the podium and do this. You think you can get out and talk to the crowd. There's a riot, and they call upon you, and you have never spoke to the crowd. The world's in trouble when they do things like that because of who you are. All right? Now, look, there's simple little things, okay? Like me. I hear someone next door, and I say, hey, hold up, hey, your voice isn't supposed to arrive before you. That's bad etiquette. Shouldn't do that. And then it bounces back, and I'm sitting here projecting where you can hear me. You can hear me probably up to 2 or 3 blocks. What's your excuse? I'm preparing to speak on the side of a mountain where my voice echoes through canyons and get to people in a way that no one has ever seen or thought of before. It's one person speaking to so many people on the side of a mountain without a microphone. No, I'm not trying to imitate. There we go again. He's trying to be like Michael Jackson, only this time it's you know who. They're always trying to make me the Antichrist, Jesus Christ, Michael Christ. It is so no. I'm me. You're really lame if you can't remember 2 letters that you use all the time. One sound. There are a lot of things. It's not about knowing or not knowing. It's about you never thought about it. Okay? You can get caught up in who knows and who don't knows. Well, neither one of those conversations will touch. You never thought about it. Knowing and not knowing will never touch. You never thought about it. It doesn't even connect to those thoughts. It kind of means you could know if you had thought about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not knowing or not knowing. It's just the fact that some things you never thought about. It's not about you're stupid. It's not about I'm smart. It's about I thought about some things that you haven't thought about. Okay? You will never get the opportunity to think that I have. All right? You will never get 20 years, 25 years, a whole lifetime to just meditate on the world and things, to just think. Life is going to put so much pressure on you, you'll be happy if you could think for 25 minutes. You'll be happy with that. You don't even dream of a 25-day vacation. 25 years to do this. And if I didn't do it well, oh, wow. I would go from one of the wisest, smartest to one of the dumbest, goofiest goofs ever is. All right? Because they're out there. I don't want to fall in the category of them. There are people who've been in jail for years and didn't meditate on life. They used up every day. But they did not learn this life better, in this world better. A long time ago, there was people who used to write whole books while they were in jail. And the people, us outside the jail, be like, wow, I didn't see that. I didn't know that a person from inside jail's view of the world was better than ours outside. Things have changed. I can see people do 10 years and come out just like they went in. Didn't pick up a book. Didn't do a push-up. It's like they took the weights out of prison and everybody turned into Pillsbury Doughboys because they took the weights out. I've seen this happen to people in my family, particularly one of my sons too. And I warned them. I said, don't use iron weights. I kept telling them, don't use it. I don't care what the trend and how it feels and the whole game. Don't use iron weights. Use sandbags. Use water weights. Use real people. Dead weight. Use dead weight. Do not use solid mass. When you use solid mass, when you stop doing it, it turns to fat. When you do push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, pull-ups, this stays with you for life. When you run, it stays with you for life. Artificial things like weights and exercise machines, they don't stay with you for life. And they make it worse for you in the end. You look worse than you did before. You started working out when you were young. You look worse now. What was all that working out for if you end up looking worse? Random things off the top of the head like a freestyle rap that we don't think about. This is so that when I go to visit somewhere, people, and they have a staged situation, I don't come there with a piece of paper and give them some dry speech. I walk up to the edge and I let the people make requests of what it is they want me to speak about. I don't come in with us. That's how you know someone came to manipulate you. They have a speech all laid out, made just for you. All right? The steel workers of America. All right? I'm telling you, it's made just for you. All right? Our first responders. All right? They come in with these tailor-made speeches. They're no longer talking to human beings, so they can't be talking to you. They're talking to a job, industry. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come in like Robin Williams on stage. I'm going to come in and take live mime requests on stage. In other words, I'm going to come in and I'm going to ask you, what is it that you want to know and discuss? What is it that you want to know? Something no one ever does. Now that they hear this note before I actually do it, and some after I've done it, you're going to see many imitators. You know that goes down in the world, all right? People looking for something to be, mess around and start trying to be like someone else or like something else. which has also changed the world. The goal of the world was originality. All right, nobody was trying to be the same. You couldn't get a nickel for it. All right, they were trying to do something special. Now it became a cookie cutter world. All right, where I don't even interact with people no more because they have the same responses to the same questions. They scratch their head right on cue. No, thank you. So this is going to be changed, and I plan to be around when it's rearranged. So I'm not gonna let dead air go on the tape. So I'm gonna sit down like I was, and as the thoughts come to me, I'm gonna try to get over here and push record. It's best when the thing is within reach, or when the tape is constantly running, because these aren't things that I'm making up. I'm sitting in a broken lawn chair in a garage facing a golf course, and people, cars, birds, cats, dogs, old memories pass by me, come by me. And sometime I comment on them, sometime I don't. I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone. I'm trying to keep from developing atrophy in my broken jaw until I can get it fixed. I'm trying to practice my vocal skills. I'm trying to become a better public speaker. I'm trying to do a lot of things all at once. What I'm not trying to do is explain myself to him, her, or you. If you see me, remember that. Don't come scratching your head like you're waiting for me to solve your puzzle. I don't do that. The only time I do that, I told you, is in what's like an appearance. All right? And there's no way to stage these appearances because they won't be announced. I'm not going to give anybody a chance to put a bullet in my head. You can be watching a hologram most of the time. All right? I'm going to be in a completely different space, but I'm going to be standing in front of you, taking requests. I'm not the president of the past. You're not going to shoot me in my head. I'm not going to leave that up to someone else or how good the Secret Service is. No, thank you. Can't do. I'm wiser than that. I don't actually have to be there. What do you want to do? Smell my breath? You want to touch me? That's not allowed. You want to bathe in my aura? That's not worth my life. So, what you're going to be seeing is me on the screen or me in a hologram in front of you. You probably will never ever see me in your life because of what all the people who did see me did to me. And because of the state of people coming near a person. You remember COVID-19? You remember the coronavirus? Well, the mental diseases that they carry are a lot worse. They kill you a lot deader. They kill for real. They kill you and people around you. So, they kill you fast and slow at the same time to make sure they get you. It's like a multifold attack. So, mental illness is spread by mouth or by communication, all right, through your senses. Someone is either stuffing it in your eyes or in your ears, all right, and you can't get it out. Anything that goes in stays in forever. So you can't just let someone walk up and just say something to you because you can't get it back out. You can't let people just put things in your head. It's like sleeping with the TV on. Oh, wow, you're a sitting duck. I can't even leave the YouTube computer because it's like it knows I'm gone and starts showing a whole lot of commercials. It's like it knows I'm not sitting there and starts showing all kind of commercials. And then after a while, it checks to see if you're there. Are you still watching? We don't care, but our sponsors do. Anyway, I'm getting off track. I didn't think about the fact that almost 99% of what I said, you probably never thought before, and there's nothing special about this mental note that's any different than any other one. What, it is tidbits? Don't try to compare them. It's already starting. People talking about their favorite one when they haven't even experienced them all yet. How can you have a favorite flavor unless you tasted them all? What you have is things you like. And that's all they have to say. Hey, I like this one. And I like that one too. Don't go overboard with my favorite one. I live by this one. This one is, I think about this, I play this every day. That's not what they're for. They're for you to learn it until you know it, and you no longer have to show it. Alright? You no longer have to play this video anymore because you know the information. You want everything that you see that you wish you knew, you want to know it. It's right there, and there's nothing stopping you. So, back when I wanted to do something great and noble and superhero, I never dreamed that I would be this fortunate. I was gonna be like the entertainer that's an undercover civil rights activist or hero or whatever. All right, save the people, and at the same time nobody knows it's me. All that. Yes, sir. That was my superhero programming. Man, I've left Kansas a long time ago. Like it's gone now because we're in the real world. Those were based on fantasies and comic books, and us, wanting to feel like John Wick. Okay, it wasn't really on us ever thinking we were going to get an opportunity to be John Wick. All right, it's like, hey, it's good enough for me to just feel like it, and we didn't think we would get to be Michael Jackson. We were just cool, just in the thought of, damn, it must be cool to be Michael Jackson. That was good enough for us. I'm like, damn, man, can it get any cooler? All right. So nobody sits around thinking one day I'm going to be Michael Jackson. But everybody who has ever done this because of the programming dreams of being like Michael Jackson. It's the bar, the proverbial brass ring on the merry-go-round right now. Before that, the last bar before that was really Elvis. I mean, there was a lot of little bars, but the last big bar before Michael Jackson was Elvis. He was big, longer than James Brown and Aretha Franklin and all that. These people were dead, and people were still walking around dressed like Elvis. Nobody was walking around dressed like Aretha Franklin and James Brown. I know we're going to have all kind of debates about what a big star was and who was who. You do know I'm not somebody you want to debate. No, you do, right? Okay. So, nobody dreams they're gonna really get to be this. They just dream. They just like, hey, I'm happy just that I got the food for thought. I didn't dream I was gonna get to be Bruce Lee in the movies. and anything that all these things that I grew up watching, I didn't get to think that I was gonna get a chance to play all them parts, but I desired to. I wished I could. I actually worked toward that. Look where I'm at. Right in the right spot. I'm about to have Batman money and Tony Stark technology. Come on. It doesn't get any better. So, I agreed with a lot of people like Drake. They asked him why he called himself Drake. He was like, I couldn't see myself calling myself MC this, MC that. I created a lot of characters. Their names seem to still have that same ring. But understand why my name is what it is. Because that's who I am. It's not my fault that no one ever called themselves who they really were. I got there first. I've been holding on to it for 30 years. For 30 years I've been holding it down. Longer than that, 40 years was the first time I put it on a business card in Columbus, Ohio. So it's been my name for 40 years, no matter who comes up. There was one guy came along the way around 30 years ago. One hit wonder. I'm not even going to mention his name because I'm not mentioning my name. You're listening to this, you probably already know my name. I remember a television station tried to beat my name. I decided as soon as I saw it to acquire that television station. It was more like a network. So I decided, okay, now I got my own network. And that's how it goes. So while we're talking about things you never thought about, we're moving up on the 4th of July, 2021. You know I never call dates because these notes are meant to be timeless. But the year isn't important. But in the calendars we don't use anymore, or the clocks. But this is what it was called back in these times. It was what was called the United States. It was the celebration of their birth. How did they celebrate? Blowing stuff up and setting things on fire. Because what they're celebrating is the victory of a war, all right? The sinking of ships, all right? And the explosion of them. So these fireworks in the sky, people were losing their lives, okay? You're teaching your kid to set things on fire and blow things up and telling them that it's fun. What does that remind you of? That reminds me of me telling you you spent a baby around and smiled at it and taught it that dizzy was fun. Then you took it to the fair and put it in a machine that spent it around and taught it further that dizzy was fun. So when it becomes a teen and starts using drugs to get dizzy for fun, you're going to claim innocent and that you had nothing to do with it when you had everything to do with it. Now, do you see the correlation? For fun, teach your kid don't play with fire, except on this day. Come on now, there are no exceptions to a rule like that. It's now don't play with fire. There ain't no exceptions. On this day, though, I'm going to give you a lighter and teach you how to use it. It's okay. The little ones aren't blowing up anything. They just have sparklers. I can kill a room of 12 people with 2 sparklers. Just with 2 sparklers in my hand, I can kill a whole room full of armed men. Just sparklers. Just fire. Fire is bad. Grown person who acts like a kid. Fire is bad. Fire has nothing to do with good nor God. You won't see fire what you call God made or naturally made. It is something that we have to do. All right. You know what fire? You know what fire is? Fire is an element that, in order for it to live, something has to die. Something has to be consumed. Fire can't just live in this world without destroying something. It's fire. It's the only way to live is if it destroys something. There's nothing good about fire at all. And you need to read the notes because the sun is not made of fire. That sun that is growing all these things or sucking all the energy out of us, you put a fire next to one of those trees and see if it make it grow. Put fire out there. It's the same as the sun. And see what happens to that tree. See if it grows or if it shrivels up and dies. I don't care how far away you put that fire. See if it makes it grow. I used to see dumb farmers doing frozen oranges, lighting fires out there. All right? Then they blamed the sour oranges on the freeze. That's not what did it. That's not what did it. That's not what did it. Damage, heat damage is what did it. So fire's not good. And you probably never thought about it. Fire's not natural. Fire doesn't belong here. It's you want your programming in your brain. That's funny because when you see everybody having the same pictures in their head, you know that there's some hanky-panky going on. We all got this image of fire being discovered by accident. Lightning striking a tree and a caveman discovering fire. Now, that's funny. We all got the same pictures in our head? We didn't go to the same schools. We didn't cover in the same towns, the same families, the same culture, the same nothing. How is it we got the exact same picture in our head? No, electricity. Innocent man flying a kite. And electricity strikes it, and he, out of all the millions of people in the world, is the first one to see it and discover electricity. Now that's twice lightning strikes. First it strikes and it creates fire in our mind, and then lightning strikes again and creates electricity in our mind. This is the program. Regardless of who, what, where, how, why, who feel. Tell me that information is not exactly correct. And now you're wondering, hold up, what is the correlation between fire and electricity? And electricity. We're being shown images of our life being changed by lightning striking. And then you're programmed with great ideas are lightning striking. And when lightning strikes, it's a good thing. The god of thunder, Thor. Thor's Day. Yep, sounds familiar? You're right. Thursday was originally Thor's Day. That's not something I made up. That's not those people's religion. That's the original pagan calendar. Saturday. We all know what Sunday is. We just got through talking about it. You just don't know what Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are because they're gods that you've never heard of. You want to hear some more gods real quick? I've mentioned this 5 times. You know it better spread all over the world. No one better act like they don't know. Okay? January, February, March, April, all those are gods. June, July, August, all that. And some of these gods you've heard about before. Most of them you haven't. That was my engine. We're probably going to be wondering, that's probably why he's buried somewhere. Okay? You've heard of these guys. You've heard of the god July, and you heard of the god August. You heard of Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar. July and August are named after them. So this 4th of July celebration that we celebrate, we're also celebrating Julius Caesar's birthday and all of that. No one ever told us that the birth of the country just happens to correspond with Julius Caesar. You feel me? Nobody bothered. Okay? So, we are on a different path. Okay? You want to see the dirty politics too? Might as well not leave it out. Might as well get the complete thought. Might as well get the complete thought. Okay? Those buzzers, remember the subliminal notes can be hidden behind motors, behind ocean waves, behind wind, behind anything. If you get a contrary thought, then the one that my words are trying to push forward, if something negative just jumps in your head, look for it right there and resist. You can't be hypnotized if you don't want to be, okay? Like, did I just get neuralized? So, Augustus Caesar steals days from February and puts them on August so that his month is equal to July, Julius Caesar's month. How come they didn't teach you this in history? This should have been part of every kid's schooling, to know these facts, to walk around saying July and August and to not know what's coming out of their mouth, to be calling out the name of gods on the day that they're going to a church in a religion that don't believe in other gods. That's not cool. Okay? So now you come up with the leap year to cover the fact that some days are missing from February. So it's stolen days. And nowhere when they teach you about a leap year do they tell you that these days were stolen. They don't explain to you where the days went. How come February is short? It's just like that. It's because even the Romans were crap. All right? Even the Romans were crap. No matter what. All right? Don't ignore the vampires in the back. All right? Even the Romans were crap. The calendar sucks. It doesn't work. 360 degrees is a complete rotation. All right? Not 365. That's like 5150. 365, that's like 5150. All right? 360 degrees is a perfect rotation. And that's how long it takes something to rotate around. So if you got 9 40-day months, everything comes out even. You don't have 31 on some days and 30 on another and 28 on this one. You don't have, every 4 years you do it. It's just simple. All right? Because that's the way it was. In the time that a baby gets here, that's about a year. All right? For a reason. 9 40-day months. That's why they come late sometime, early sometime. It's 9 40-day months. But anyway, moving on. The main point was you're calling out the name of gods that you claim you don't worship. Every time you call out the day of the week or the month of the year, if you speak English. That might be something you would have wanted to know long time ago. Your nose. Your nose. Your nose. Your nose. Remember, we're talking about things that you probably haven't thought about. Life don't give you a chance to meditate on these things, all this here. You got to get out there and get the money to give to this man for his space that he lets you stand on, and to this person for the wills they gave you. And you got to pay this person to eat, and you got to pay this person. So you're working to pay these people, and you say it every week, every month, every year of your life, and you hear the guy next to you saying it too. But I still don't think you know that it's a fact. Here's something I know you didn't think about, because there's no way you can know, because it's about me. I'm like a multi-dimensional tuna fork, if you want a metaphor. You can look at me and tell if music is good by my reaction. Okay? You can look at me and tell a lot of things. Like, you don't have to be a judge of people. I've hugged people that you feel like, ugh, I would never be around those people. And I've hugged them. So if I don't like someone, it's like when your dog doesn't like them, or your pet, or your baby doesn't like them. Get that evil person away. Okay? If I don't like them, they're not good. They're not cool. If I don't like it, it's not good. It could be alright, but I'm telling you it's not good. That's just my taste, my level. Excellence. Perfection. Told you what my catchword is. Best and better. I love those words. I can't get enough of making things better. And I can't stop till it's the best. Moving down the line, as always, while I got this chance, Vampire Free. It's time to get scary. Dogs. A statement. They're just like people. That's not a good statement. I don't know what kind of person you are. I am not like a dog. A dog cannot even compare to me. I'm not sleeping with no dog. If your dog lives in your house, you live in a dog house. I'm sorry. You can get your panties in a bunch or do whatever. I'm a different species. People in their bestiality over the years, there ain't no telling how they feel about their animals, and I don't care. But I'm telling you, the more comfortable you are with animals, like your house look like a zoo, the greater the chances that you may be an animal, or at least in part. At least have an animal nature, a barbaric animal nature. Which means there's evolved humans and there's animals, manibals. If you don't have a problem with dog hair, that's because your hair is just like theirs and you can't tell the difference. But their hair doesn't match with mine, and it sticks and pokes me and breaks me out in rashes. If you are okay with the smell of a wet dog, all right. It's probably because you smell like that when your hair is wet. Now, this isn't to be derogatory or nothing. These are facts. Just all you gotta do is write me, comment at the bottom about what I said that wasn't true. That's all you gotta do. Tell me that if I lay one of their hairs down and one of your hairs down on a microscope, that I'm going to see a spectacular difference. So they tell you there's some truth to this. Now that's scary. Best friend will swerve and hit me on the sidewalk trying to keep from killing it. Put sweaters and dressing and talking to and befriending, and it wanted to go everywhere that you go, and on this right here. I've seen this before in another life. It was the horse last time. And for all you who don't know, remember these are things you never thought about. You can check this out. A horse is in the canine family. A horse is in the dog family. You wondering like what's in the ape family and all these different things, bird family. A horse is in the dog family. Go check it out. Go check it out. So the companion didn't change. It's just miniaturized. No one's riding on it anymore. But it's right there. And you will see a correlation between a man and his horse and a man and his dog. That's scary to some. To some, hey, well, hey, it is what it is. Scared is in your mind. It's not out here. Come on. Grow some balls. Quit letting cartoons inside your own head give you a cardiac arrest. So we're not going to go all the way down scary land or why we all got web feet and web hands and we're walking on dry land, because the only creatures besides us with webs are sea creatures. So when did we come out the water and when did we come on land and how did we get stuck? Things you haven't thought about. Don't worry about races. And there's things that went down before that. You know, you say things, but you don't act like you really believe them or know them. You know, if you go further enough back, we all had to come from the same place. All right? Out of the same egg. And you can believe religious things like Tower of Babel where they tell you they confuse the tongues. There was no mention of them changing their colors. It almost worked, but it wasn't good enough for me. The missing link almost worked, but the missing link. Same way with all religions. They all got these missing links and holes in them. Things that you can't be verified by nobody alive. No, I decided to take all the hocus pocus out and remind you that time traveling is possible, and somebody with a jetpack in ancient times descended from the heavens. Somebody with a flamethrower was a god, and so on and so forth. You know the old analogy. You land on a backwards island of natives, and all you got is a cigarette lighter or a match, and they're, whoa, and treat you as a god. Well, hey, you could have parachuted down, and you'd have been an angel with wings. Is it getting clear to you? Now that you've seen Chris Angel walk on water. Could have been standing on the sub. And when the sub rose up, just simply walked across the surface of the sub to the people. Get me little things like appeared. There's tales about Jesus, and they say he appeared like a puff of smoke, and all he did was just walk up to him like in the island of paper. Never mind. We're getting off track. All I'm telling you is there's things you haven't thought about. Once you think about them, you're going to get more questions. That is a call for research to go get answers. Now you're going to go back into this catch-22 we mentioned in the beginning. Someone else telling you what is so. I think you would do better to get an ant farm or go outside with a magnifying glass and study ants than to get a book on ants. Because they're going to tell you the name that they gave them. Some dead guy. You might want to call them something else, even not even ants. You might see things differently once you're not blinded by them telling you what you see. You might be like me. You might notice them talking. You might notice, you might have tested them. What happens if you kill one? What happens if you mess up the pattern? What happens if you remove the target food? A book could not tell me what I learned. You know, in all the ant books and things, information that was accidentally given to me, an ant can't move. A rubber tree plant sticks better. Why? Because it was put to music. Now do you know what I'm doing? Why he does it? Okay. It's the SPS. The ones. Worthy causes. The servants of all. And you know there is only one of everything. One sense. One drink. Water. Children. Everything that is liquid is only water with something in it. It's contaminated water. There is no other liquid. There's only one rule, the golden rule, so to speak. Don't do anything to anyone or anything that you don't want done to you or your things. There's only one all the way across the board, one party. A house divided against itself can't stand. This Democrat-Republican thing is the reason that we're in this mess. The reason there's no we. Every 4 years we have a knockdown, drag out. And stay pissed off for the next 4 years until we do it again. One party. The one party. One. Okay? Ones. One way. For all. All for one and one for all. And yes, that is the proper name. Translated into every language. That is the proper name for just crap that the Greeks came up with. That is the proper name for the creator of everything. It's not God. I'm God. Men are gods. The creator creates gods. And the creator was created. Your knowledge is limited. 12 scenarios for your existence. 12 explanations for what happened up to now and what is going on around you. There's some truth to all of them. And there's some rhetoric surrounding all of them. The right pieces of the puzzle form the 13th scenario, which is what is really so. You got about 999 notes to go. Bon appetit.